Hello everybody, Ceeingee here, welcome to a brand new video, and in this video I am going to be talking about Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett is an actor and a musician. He basically starred in a show called Empire, but now they've suspended him because of the attack that he staged, and he's basically charged for false police report because he basically reported a hate crime to the police, but it's a false one because he staged the attack. So basically he's charged with that, and he basically sent a letter to himself to basically, I think, the studios down at where Empire is gets filmed, and basically sent a letter to himself there with a drawing of supposedly him being hanged from a tree, and also a drawing of a gun, and threatening, like, it was a threatening letter. So basically it was like the death threats on it, and he'd be charged with death threats because that is a crime in itself. Even though it's to him, I think he will still get charged for that. And also, that is sort of like a terrorism, because it's sort of like terrorism because he had white powder in it, so white aspirin, powdered aspirin in it, so that will possibly get treated like a terrorist attack. So yeah. But if there's more about him, and if I've not included it in this video, in this like documentary, then I will do a part 2 or a sequel, and I'll talk about it in that one. But basically, so yeah.
With all the rapid developments in the case, Smollett's much publicized interview with ABC's Robin Roberts is also under the microscope. We had 2 behavioral science experts watch the video to get their take. Here's Diane McInerney.
Does Jussie Smollett's TV interview hold clues to the many questions being raised about his story?
They're questioning whether the attack even happened.
The story just becomes more and more confusing.
Inside Edition asked 2 experts in behavioral science to analyze the Empire actor's demeanor when he spoke with Robin Roberts. Behavioral expert Wendy Patrick says she was struck by his smile.
Why would somebody be smiling when they're talking about something like this?
Sometimes the mannerisms don't match the message, but that's not always due to dishonesty. It's often due to nervousness.
Roger Strecker is another behavioral expert and has more than 30 years of experience in law enforcement. In his opinion, it's strange that Smollett shared so many unnecessary details.
We got back to the apartment. There was no food.
Explaining that the refrigerator was empty. And a lot of times, a person that's not being truthful will create extraneous information that's not necessary or really wasn't part of the predicate question.
He also points to the actor's rapid blinking, and there was the matter of him breaking eye contact.
Then I was like, there's bleach on me too.
Whenever he was responding to what we call a stressor or a trigger question, his eye contact with the moderator veered to the left, to the right, and downwards.
Based on everything that you've seen, do you think he's lying?
I can't say that this particular behavior was 100% deceptive, but it certainly caused me some concern.
But Wendy Patrick says there could be an innocent explanation for all that nervous energy.
Sure, he's a public figure, he's used to being on television, but he's not used to being in a setting like this, where there is a lot riding on what people thought of his interview and what people thought of his credibility.
Do you think he's lying?
It's very hard to determine whether what I'm seeing is due to dishonesty about the original event or due to defensiveness about the original event now being called into question.
Again, police at this moment say they are treating Smollett as a victim.
Actually, Stay behind him.
Jussie, did you lie to police?
Jussie, do you think your manager should be prosecuted also?
Jussie, give us. You want to apologize to the city?
Jussie, where's your moral compass after all this?
Jussie, what do you got to say? Jussie, do you have anything to say to the people of Chicago?
Jussie, any words for those who feel betrayed by
This is new now at 5:30. WGN has obtained surveillance video of those two brothers buying items likely used in the alleged attack.
Let's go to Tom Negevin, who's live on the north side with that story. Tom.
That's right, and that part of the story, Micah and Joe, does pertain to those brothers, the Yasendero brothers, who've been talking to police and prosecutors at 26 and Cal, the Cook County Criminal Courthouse. We know they're there today. We know now where they were on Monday, January 28th, just hours before Jussie Smollett reported a hate crime in the Streeterville neighborhood. Take a look at the video of them on that day here in the Uptown neighborhood at a beauty supply shop. What you're seeing them purchase are a couple of balaclavas or ski masks, along with some gloves that they bought at this nondescript shop in Uptown, and a red cap. Specifically, we're told by staff here, they sought out those items. They don't sell a whole lot of ski masks here, they tell me, but these two brothers seem very eager to pick them up and seemed very urgent about that, according to a store security guard who tells me the brothers stood out in his mind. He had questions about their purchases, about what they were doing there, and, well, he believes he knows the answers now.
I'm amazed. I've heard about it, read about it, seen it on the news, but I never thought that I would actually be involved in what they was plotting and planning.
Now that you know, what you're hearing, does some of what you're encounter with them involved make sense a bit?
It does. It does. To commit a crime, you would think necessary. You would want a mask like this to cover your face. You would want a red hat so you can pin it on somebody. So, yeah, it makes sense now.
Montego Silas tells us it didn't make sense at the time. He had questions about the brothers, their urgency to purchase rare items they don't usually see from a beauty supply shop of all places, a bit off the beaten path. New developments, of course, continuing to come in this story. Fast and furious, lots of twists and turns in this. We'll stay on top of them. Much more to come. For now, live in the Uptown neighborhood on the north side of Chicago, Tom Negevin, WGN News. Micah, Joe, back to you.
Jussie Smollett in custody and under arrest just minutes ago. Police released his mugshot. Here it is. In just a short time from now, he'll be in front of a judge for a bond hearing. Investigators say he is no victim and that his story is now unraveling.
From alleged victim to suspected criminal, today Jussie Smollett faces a felony charge of disorderly conduct after detectives in Chicago say he filed a false police report. The bombshell turn of events comes 3 weeks after Smollett told investigators he was the victim of a race-based homophobic hate crime.
They called me a They called me a There's no which way you cut it.
The two men who police say staged the attack testified for 2.5 hours before a grand jury Wednesday. Ola and Abel Osundairo, who were first identified in this surveillance photo, knew Smollett from his hit show Empire, but after their arrest, began cooperating with police. They do not face charges.
There was a point where this story needed to be told, and they manned up and they said, you know what, we're going to correct this.
Security video from a beauty shop captured the brothers buying ski masks and a red hat the day before the incident at Smollett's request, they say. Props used in the staged attack, say investigators. Issuing roughly a dozen search warrants, Chicago police scoured financial and phone records, looking to link Smollett to the brothers before he reported the attack. Smollett last spoke to police a week ago after giving this dramatic account to ABC News.
Who says empire? This MAGA country.
This morning, the actor's legal team vowed to mount an aggressive defense, writing, Mr. Smollett enjoys the presumption of innocence, particularly when there has been an investigation where information, both true and false, has been repeatedly leaked. But he could also face federal charges if the FBI determines he lied about this alleged death threat Smollett claims he received in the mail.
I think he should unload that conscience and just come out and tell the American people what actually happened.
Today, Smollett faces not only questions, but now serious criminal charges as investigators flip the script the actor told.
Here's another look at that mugshot of Jussie Smollett that was just released moments ago. If convicted of filing a false police report, he could face jail time.